heretics, sinners, and filthy loyalists. Welcome to another episode of the Warp Report. We are joined to our weekly session by Mr. Rock and Mr. Nick. How are you doing, guys?
What's up, dudes? What's up, dudes? I'm doing fine.
Doing pretty well. Can't complain. Living the dream.
Well, it's another beautiful week in Korea we're closing today. So before we just delve in the topics of today, let's just catch up on what you've been doing. Any games you've been playing? Anything cool you've been working on lately? I think, how about we start with some games? I know you've been playing a few games, I think it was yesterday, right, Nick?
Yeah, I decided to dust off my Blood Angels after a couple of months, and probably went about as well as you would expect, which is horribly wrong. I am not a good Angels player. I am a demon at heart.
No. You were a good Angels player, and then you just shifted everything. You went full demon.
Yeah.
So now you're a demon. But I think the core of you, the way you played, never changed. Get
true.
in and get dirty in melee. That's the same.
That's the same thing with Blood Angels, basically. Really focused army.
So, what are you playing? You're playing the Invictor Worship list, right? The one you play against me, like
Yeah, it was like one of your early Custodes
I was
games
playing
with
Custodes
everything
that day.
finished. I actually played one list. I played two Dreadnought lists. One had a Death Company Dreadnought and a Death Company Captain on bike. Yeah, Death Company Dreadnought.
Wait. Death Company Dreadnought?
Yeah, it is.
Is that a thing? Is that a thing? I thought that the Death Company were just like dudes who were like full rage, almost like. What do you see in these photos?
No,
not Horus. Definitely not Horus.
It's a Dreadnought that still sees Horus. Because, in a Dreadnought, the Space Marine isn't dead, so Dreadnoughts can still fall to the Black Rage. But essentially... Well, it's like a
already alive at this point.
But the thing is, so they still get all the Death Company abilities with Black Rage, which is they cannot fall back, they cannot perform actions, but they get an attack on the charge. So the Dreadnought ends up getting 3 extra attacks on the charge, hitting on 3s. I gave it, and then I had a Death Company Captain nearby, so it was re-rolling 1s, and then I gave it +1 to hit. So I had this Dreadnought and he had Blood Talons, which is a strength +4. So essentially, I think on a Dreadnought, that's a strength 10, AP 3, 2 damage weapons with full wound rerolls. So I had full hit rerolls and full wound rerolls with a Dreadnought.
So even in death, I still see Horus. So that's pretty much
exactly.
I could just hear the the freaking respiration in the background, like.
Yeah, no. John was like, I charged him with it. He's like, wait, that's a Dreadnought? I'm like, yeah, it is. It was but I got because basically they have something called Blood Talons, which are just lightning claws for a Dreadnought.
That sounds scary though. You get the full reroll like the company vets, right? Like the veterans.
That is scary.
They can take advantage. So yeah, they get full wound rerolls. Yeah, they just don't get the extra attack. But the difference is they get +4 strength rather than being base strength.
I mean, you're still gonna hit 7s. I mean, you still have base 7 strength. So
you hit on. Yeah. I was hitting on 3s, re-rolling, and then I was also wounding on 2s because it is still a Blood Angel, so it still gets the Red Thirst.
Oh, that is so silly.
Or do you call that the Black Rage or something?
That's the Blood Angels Death Company. They fall to the Black Rage, which is what makes them angry.
Just since we're at it, so what is the difference between the Black Rage and the Red Thirst?
The Black Rage is basically the Red Thirst is a mutation from the Blood Angels gene seed, and partially due to their irradiated home of Baal, they go into a blood drinking frenzy during battle, which is in the game translates to a +1 to advance and charge, and a +1 to wound when on the charge, whether you charge or you are charged.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so they can advance and charge?
+1 when they advance or charge.
They get +1 inch to their statistics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they get +1 inch to their stuff.
And the Black Rage is the psychic scream that when Sanguinius died.
Yep, when Sanguinius was killed, he was such a powerful psyker. It put out a blast that basically completely altered the genome of the Blood Angels. And since the Blood Angels had recently suffered losses, the only gene seed left from the Legion were those Legionnaires on Terra during the siege of Terra. Ooh. And so every Blood Angel now has that alteration because of the blast, and they constantly are reliving the last image that was broadcasted to them by their Primarch, which is Horus killing Sanguinius.
Damn.
So whenever you fall to the Black Rage, you are repeatedly see yourself as Sanguinius being killed by Horus over and over again.
That sounds metal.
It's a terrible way to go.
That sounds metal,
terrible way to go.
You mean metal?
That is messed up.
No. Messed up.
That's messed up, man.
You know what is messed up? Messed up is being a gene stealer. No. Listen, no. Let me explain why it's messed up. You think that I'm going to the Black Rage. Oh, I'm Sanguinius. Horus is killing me. Boo hoo. Yeah. You are a gene stealer. You are being controlled by the High Man. You are in a Hive City. You spend all your life. You get married. You got children, and then suddenly High Man says, "Yeah, you know what? Coup d'etat. Let's do an uprising." So basically, you cause the fall down of your Hive world. You destroy everything. You end up killing everything you ever loved under the control of the High Man. You cannot do anything to stop it, but you at the same time you don't care because you're under the High Man influence. Then the 4-armed Emperor falls down to your planet, and then the 4-armed Emperor says, "Hey, good job, dude." And then it says, "Here's a pool of biomass. Throw yourself at it and die." And then you do it. And when you're about to fall into the pool of acid, the High Man disconnects you from the link. And while you dissolve into the pool of acid, you pick up all the things you did. And you remember every single action you committed in the past things. From killing everything you ever loved to right now. That is brutal. That is brutal.
Yeah.
That is brutal.
Yeah, that is messed up. That is messed up.
That is like next level messed up.
But you know what's the worst part? Though? They have like the same belief. Like I can't really say they really have the same belief, but like as the loyalists to the Emperor, but like it's like the same concept if you think about it, because like technically the 4-armed Emperor is like the Tyranids, right? They're gonna like feast upon the freaking
how
high
is
world.
That is not more terrible and gruesome than I mean, at least if I am a Sanguinius, I get to be a primer for like a few seconds and then boom, go with a bang.
Yeah.
When I am dissolving in a pool of acid, I get to relive every single mistake I've ever made in my life.
Welcome to Death Company, where you're so angry that the Black Templars tell you to chill.
Yeah. Oh damn! Seriously, the Black Templars tell you to chill.
But, what did you talking today, Luke? What did you have in mind?
Well, no. Since we're picking up the games, I'll probably mention. I think if you pick it up last week, with the finale of the first season of the 40th Korea League ended yesterday, and I am sad because after a lot of effort, I was hoping that the Chaos would win, but I lost against the Tyranids. I did my best. I lost 94 to 88. It was a great game. But it was a great game overall. I didn't. For me, it was not that good a game because I made mistakes. It was a good game because he played fantastically, and that was the thing. But on my end, I made a lot of silly mistakes that cost me the game, which I figured out, I could have done this better and probably could better. But just to give you an idea, if you are into Warhammer, you probably know what I'm gonna say now. But if you don't, I'll put a description. So I was playing Deadgar. Deadgar is tough. It's tough. Your whole gimmick is we're tough. You're hard to kill. Yada yada. So basically, against every other army, you are pretty much in a kind of good spot. You can like take some hits here and there, and call it a day. Shrug it off. But I was not facing the regular army. I was facing the Monster Mash, or basically, I was playing against Godzilla, Mothra, and King Kong at the same time. Basically, on the other side of the board. Yes.
What?
So My opponent, which is also the main man on behind the 40k Korea, his list of Tyranids was consisting of a Harridan, that's a 700 points model, and 2 Dimacrons, and a lot of other auxiliary stuff, but those 3 guys were the main thing. So, why was the game complicated? I bought a list to kind of fight that things. It worked well, but at the same time, I played poorly at some because I made some mistakes. Why? The Harridan, it's a giant monstrosity, has 34 wounds. He flies, he's supersonic. You cannot charge him unless he hovers. But the biggest thing is he has 2 cannons. Those 2 cannons have 8 shots each. They're AP4, flat damage 3, and he can make it go flat damage 4. So even if you have a very sturdy unit, you're gonna die. And when I had my PVCs or my vehicles, 12 wounds, 5 immo save. Against normal shooting, it's okay, but when he shoots you 16 times, he only needs 4 shots to make it, to destroy it. So basically, I was like, if that thing shoots whatever I want, it's dead. And that's pretty much what happened. I managed to basically ignore the thing. I tried to play the objective, made some mistakes. First round, I had the opening, but because I did play too safely to not get blasted by those cannons I just mentioned, I was hiding very stuff in Obscurum, which is great, but I was 1 inch short of one of my biggest weapons. So basically, turn 1, I could not shoot 6 Meltas, and that pretty much carried over, and those 6 Melta shots probably changed the game. But overall, Soup played great, because that's how it is. Just to give you an idea, he spent, Nick, you probably know, he spent more time than Remy on the movement phase, so that should tell you how hard the game was to put it up together. When someone takes more than Remy, I love you, thank you, Dad. When someone is taking more time than you to do a movement phase, he's taking things seriously. But yeah, the thing is that the giant thing sat down in the back line, and I had to take heat from behind me, and then the 2 giant Dimacrons. Rock, if you haven't ever played against giant monsters, the Dimacrons have 5 attacks, D3 plus 3 on melee. And
I mean, to be fair, I did play against a Thunderhawk.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, the Thunderhawk is just a vehicle. The Dimacron, it's a thing. He moves. The Dimacron is like a giant bug.
What?
He has 18 wounds. That thing moves around 14 to 14 inches. He can, and he has a combo with the Swarm Lord. He can advance, and then he can move again and charge. So basically, he can go he's like Nick. He can just go turn 1 charge if he wants. He can just skedaddle across the battlefield if he wants. So the thing is, like, it's not just that. It's like 4 or 5 attacks, D3 plus 3 damage. Fine. Then he rolls. Then you roll a dice. If you roll lower than his strength, he deals D6 mortar wounds, and then he destroys the model, and then he gets a 5 of feel pain for the rest of the game. And that thing is terrifying.
What?
So I'm having that thing in front of me, and this giant pterodactyl in the back shooting those cannons I just mentioned. So
it is. Worse than Mortarion.
So you feel the heat. You feel the heat. No matter what you do, you're gonna have a bad time. I played the best I could. I managed to mitigate some issues to pressure him, but I caped. I played poorly. I forgot some rules here and there. I could have played better the objective, and that cost me the game. But overall, it was a great game because I managed to push Sue to the limit with that list. So as far as he's mentioned, that was the hardest one of the matchups he had when he's playing this kind of lists, and which is great, at least for me. And now I'm probably gonna have to tweak it up because if there's another tournament coming on October 16, and we are probably gonna face something similar or the same, at least in some capacity. And I am not looking forward to face that list again. If I tell you myself, yeah.
If I were to ask you though, like in that matchup, would you say it was fun to play, or
it was fun in a few cases? It was fun when because he has this giant monster, and because I had this combo of auras, I had the Fight Last aura from the Blightspawn, and then I had this no reroll aura.
Oh yeah.
If he fails a hit, and he cannot reroll the wound, and he wins on 2s. If you fail a wound with that D3 plus 3, it doesn't feel good. So because I had those auras popping, he was terrified of the blob with the aura. And he played around that. He basically started to play around that thing. And because he moved so much, it kind of just follow behind. And that was the thing. He went his extra mile just to get out the bubble aura. Had like a 12-inch fight last, and a 10-inch, 12-inch, no rerolls. And then I mean,
Wait,
not the fight last is the the no the reroll thing, but the Blightspawn aura, the relic one, that was 12 inches with special stratagem, and I had Ferryman and Mortar Ensemble. I had 2 companies mixed together.
Okay.
So I had the 2 things overlapped on top of each other, so I had like a dead zone. So that's how he was terrified of the bluff. But again, it's
scary.
not fun to play in the sense because not for me, because not the game, because I made that list to fight that.
Mm-hmm.
If I bring that list against Nick and his demons, I'm dead. If I bring the list against other thing, I'm probably dead because it's not an all-comer list. It's just a very focused one. So yeah, that was the great finale of the 40k season 1 league. It was a great game. But yeah, preparing for the second season. I don't know if you, Nick. I think you were close to get it onto the other one, but I'm looking forward to see this season up there in the playoffs.
Yeah, I have a much better understanding of my army this time.
And you have Be'lakor now. You have Be'lakor now.
Yeah, I didn't have Be'lakor for this league. He came out towards the end of the group stage.
Right. So you couldn't bring it to that big fight. I think it would have been a game changer for you if you had it earlier.
I do have a question though. Like in the league, are you allowed to change lists after like?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Yep. You just have to stay 1,000 points of your original faction.
Mm-hmm.
Your list has to be over 50% of the original. So I registered as demons. I could bring Space Marines, but 1,001 points had to be demons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so basically, the thing is like
that is very interesting.
How League feels different from tournaments because you can customize the list. That's what I did. That's what I did to most of my matches. Okay, I'm facing Drukhari. The guy had Drukhari. That Keldar had poison weapons. My toughness is useless because he's still gonna auto-win me on 3s, but the poison doesn't work on vehicles. So I brought my full engine list. So his poison weapons were not working. He was wounding me on 6s. And that's things like that. You get to play around counters and back and forth. That's why I'm saying that. That's why.
That is very interesting. Like you can choose your tactics and your list.
That's why I mentioned that the list I played was not very good. It was only made to fight that not his list because I didn't know his list until the very end. But I had an idea he was going to bring these monstrosities. So I knew it was going to be 2 or 3 Demacrons were going to be on the table. So I made my list with that in mind.
No. Well,
I killed the 2
did you manage to kill it though?
No.
The big one, the giant one.
You don't shoot it. You're not gonna waste your your shooting into that thing. It's like
it's 36 wounds. It's just not worth it.
It's not worth it. Even with the entropy cannons and stuff, you're not gonna waste it on that thing. You probably you have more chance to kill something with 18 wounds than 34 in one round.
That is rather true. That is rather true. I would agree on that. But I can't imagine like Death Guard having like big giant thing like that also. Like
no, I don't think we do.
Wait, Luke, you have Nick is the
we don't. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like I think I already mentioned this in the other podcast, but Mortarion is good. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like he is good. But he just eats too much points.
You are the Lord of Monsters here. What is the Chaos version of our what is our Biotitan? What is our Chaos Biotitan?
There's a couple of them. A big one is the Khorne Lord of Skulls.
That is so cool. That's the one that Magnus Kalgar punched and ripped his head off, right?
Oh
yep,
yeah,
that's one of those.
You showed me that last time. Like
that
I saw
that thing.
A CSM
unit.
Yeah, that's a Chaos Space Marine.
It's a demon.
Seriously?
Engine.
Dang.
Yeah, but it's current exclusive, right? We cannot run it. That's Death Guard.
No. It's a CSM demon engine.
Really?
Oh, really? Yeah, but probably we'll lose the contagions if we do that.
Yes, it's not a Death Guard unit. Your equivalent is Mortarion. You have a Primarch.
Yeah, that's a well. Sorry, Primer,
okay.
but if I had put because on the list that I know I sharing with you, Nick, I was gonna put Mortarion. If Mortarion was there in turn 1, he would probably dead.
Yeah,
He
you have a Primarch, so that's
he would
why.
have died. But yeah,
He's just like not to. I mean, like he is good in paper, and he's also good in game. But at the same time, he's just too expensive, and at the same time, like you can't really do any. Like he just
Yeah.
eats too much bullets.
Yeah, but
You
we've
know what I'm saying?
yeah, we've definitely talked about that one.
Yeah, in the
But
past,
yeah, I
yeah.
wanted to see Luke. You were mentioning earlier you had something that you wanted to talk about today.
right. So that off the topic, good games and overall. So I think that the topic for this week, and this is something that I'm probably gonna mention because since I had the game yesterday, I had to travel all the way to Incheon. And if you are in Seoul, going to Incheon takes around 1.5 hours. And since I was carrying so many models, I'm not going to lie, on my way back, I did some groceries, I picked up a few things for hobby as well, and I was carrying a backpack, a satchel, a giant case, 3 around bags, and a pizza box on my hands. So I was like, yeah, I was basically, it looked like I just arrived from the airport with the amount of luggage I was carrying was insane. So this is what was pretty much the topic I was just going to mention is transportation. How do you deal with moving all the minis, especially when we move giant things? Like, for example, for me, it's Mortarion, I get it. But when I play the engines, I have a lot of vehicles. I need to put them in a thing. But I think the biggest, I'm not saying I think because of Fender, but the one who should know better, it's Nick with your amount of giant monstrosities because you have,
Giant
so you
demons.
have like the 3 Keeper of Secrets, Shalaxi, the Bloodthirster, Belacor, and I think I lost track of all the things.
I also own a I also own a Lord of Change.
Oh yeah, the chicken and the Great and Clean one, right?
The Great Unclean One, and Scarbrand, and Engrath, the Forge
right.
World Bloodthirster Lord of War. Yeah, I own all of those.
Do you have problems, sir? No.
No,
I know what you're
it's
talking
only
about.
it's only a problem if you call it one. No,
Exactly.
I'm actually like, I have tested out a ton of cases. I've also seen some hilarious ones.
Like what? Like what? I mean, okay, let's go small because that's how it started, and then we can go up because
Okay.
let us start with us with the plebs who have played with small models. You know, we like to play with our little toad soldiers.
I started with Blood Angels,
because-
thank you.
Yeah, well, but you're not in that park anymore, and that's
Just a newbie here.
That is something that I laughed when I was playing against Sue yesterday. Okay, this is a miniature board game, yeah, right? This is a tabletop miniature game, right? Why your Hardon covers half the map just by standing? Yeah, that is something that you should check, right? Anyway, when I started playing, I didn't have a fancy case. I had a kimchi box. You know, Rock?
Oh my god,
Yeah,
me too.
and I got a kimchi
Me
box.
too.
I bought like a foam, and I make like little compartments. And
You had foams?
yeah, no, you know the
It's
it's like you know the material. It's like not foam. I don't know the name in English. It's tergopol.
Like-
Uh,
like sponge or
it's like-
something. Is it sponges?
It's like you know when you buy stuff and it comes this material. It's like a little bit
Styrofoam.
plasticky. Well, anyway, there you go. That's the word. Yeah.
Styrofoam.
I did. I
Really?
cannot do English. My apologies. Yeah, I had that. I made compartments, and I managed to put my army because back in the day it was small, but
Uh-huh.
no, that's no longer the case. I ended up buying a giant camera case that I
Uh-huh.
slice it up and put my models.
I remember
I
that
think
night
you
texted
did something
me.
similar too. Yeah. I think you did something similar, right, Nick?
Yeah, I did. That's actually still to this day a case I sometimes use for my Blood Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
remember that one.
2 camera cases. It's cases meant for like camera equipment, and my foam was pre-cut, so I just cut out little blocks for them.
Oh, that's nice.
Let's see, but that wasn't even my first case. I've owned many cases over the years.
That's a nice pun.
Tell us about it. Your
Let's see.
thesis.
I have owned a Citadel case.
Okay.
Oh.
I took a
Fancy.
craft storage
sponsored.
box. I took a craft storage box from a craft store in the U.S. called Joann's. It's a sewing store, and I put
Okay.
I put the same material you put on the back of a fridge magnet. I glued that down to the bottom of the case and stuck my minis to it.
Hey, that's nice.
That is nice.
No, that one was pretty bad because the magnets weren't very strong. I actually should have gone and gotten sheet metal. Because in America, there's a lot of hardware stores where you can go buy this stuff. Like, you can get sheet metal cut to size for you.
Really? That is awfully convenient.
Yes.
And very precise.
And although recently in the community, I see one or two people, one person, you know who you are, who got a storage bin from like Lotte Mart and literally chucks his models in the storage bin. No foam, no packing peanuts, no magnets, nothing. He's like, hey, why are my models broken?
Wait, seriously?
I want to know who.
What is this?
I want to know who is this, but because witness protection program, I will ask you politely after the show is over. Thank you very much, Nick.
Space Wolves deserve no less. And now everyone knows who it is.
No comments.
It's a small world after all.
But yeah, so let's see. What other cases have I had? That's pretty much long and short of it. I have borrowed cases. Or use some of my friends. Cases?
Since we're talking about, since we're doing do yourself kind of stuff, how about Sue's IKEA case?
Oh, that's the one I have. That's actually the one I have.
Oh, that's it. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, go on. Okay, tell us.
So I took a
IKEA case.
Yes, IKEA case.
Coupon Eats delivery is really, really popular. So they sell insulated backpacks that are like those square backpacks, like and
for
like
delivery,
Uber Eats, yeah. And I got a steel IKEA shelf. And I put it in the backpack, and then I put magnets on the bottom of my models. And now I have a Coupon Eats backpack, and I walk around with my army in it. It's actually super convenient. It's the one I have now. I have a replacement on the way, but because this one weighs about 8 kilos or about 15 pounds.
Yeah,
fully
you're
loaded.
You're going 12 VOs. How are you going to carry that thing?
How heavy is that thing? Like,
Lord, I'm not. I just said it. About 8 kilograms, give or take. Fully loaded. Fully loaded.
I mean, fully loaded means like all your demons, or just a few?
With a full army, books, dice, tape measurer, and it gets a little heavier when I put water bottles in the top. Because it doesn't quite go to the top, so I can put a square water bottle on top, lock it up, and then I'll go 2 hours to my destination, get there.
Juntech?
Yeah. Pull out my backpack, and my water is still cold.
Nice.
Because it's an insulated backpack, my water will still be cold when I get there.
So you go to your games with your full army and a couple of Red Bulls in your case.
Yes, sweet. and they're all still cold when I get there.
So you get to play some games and crack open a cold one with the boys if you want.
Sometimes my own genius is really frightening, I have to say.
Come on, this is not topic here. Anyway,
but yeah.
Oh really? Anyway,
since we've used so many though, I know you guys. What do you like about them? Like, I know you guys like your foam cases.
I like mine because at first I did it because I got tired of carrying like many different cases to all my army. So when I was playing my old list of Delgar, which was all Terminators, still kind of is, I put everything in the case and I loved it. And I ended up, like you said, I bought this case for a camera. Shout out to our former player, our Harlequin player, who got me the link. And I spent an afternoon slicing up foam. And I put everything there. Now, everything doesn't fit perfectly because I had to, compromise a few things. A few models that I do not pay much attention, a little bent, but overall everything kind of goes. So basically, I have 10 Blight Lords, 6 Death Shroud, and around 20 Marine-sized infantry, which that could be Playcaster and so on. 2 tanks, Mortarion, and a Dreadnought. That's everything I carry in my single case.
I'm actually surprised that can all fit in there. Honestly.
I made them fit. That's what I'm saying. A few models got a few, had to pay the price for my crime against God, the God of Cases. But it's not something like, oh well, it's just a little bent here. I'll fix it. It's not gonna kill me. I mean, I love my models, but at some point, yeah. But that's one of the reasons I love playing Custodes, because everything fits in my old kimchi box, in my old original kimchi box. Everything fits perfectly there. And I have 2 dreadnoughts and a Telemon, and it fits on there because I don't need too many spaces.
All 15
to carry
models
that
you
stuff.
own.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, is it only 15
no,
for
no,
Custodes?
Like 20.
Yeah, but it's only 20.
That's kind of that is hella small.
What do you
Give or
use,
take.
Rock?
Well, as Luke started, like he did mention, like when he started with a kimchi box. I did start with a kimchi box because like I started with like very small army of Death Guard since I bought the patrol box, I think.
Yeah,
Like it comes with it comes with a Poxwalker and Typhus
30
there
boxes,
and some Plague
7 Marines
Yeah.
and Typhus, which is not a good deal if you ask me, but go on.
Yeah, and I did buy like some more Plague Marines, and which I'm regretting right now.
No.
And I did buy like 1 box of Terminator. Yeah, and then like I just carried them around like in this kimchi box. It just fits, and I'm just like carrying them around with it. Yeah. Oh, and one Redemptor Dreadnought, which I converted that into a Leviathan Dreadnought.
Didn't you get
Yes.
one from Arthur? Gift you one? The Contemptor?
Yeah, and Arthur also gave me like Content Dreadnought, which was super helpful.
That was very nice.
Thank you, Arthur.
I was gonna say,
It's really baller move on him.
I bought my
yes.
Bloodthirster from him.
Oh yeah, I remember.
No,
I was
It's a-
there when you
dude,
picked it
it's
up.
a gorgeous model. It's currently
Yeah,
in the hospital.
Hospital.
It broke
Oh.
on his
Oh.
flame,
Yeah.
so we're trying to fix it right now. We have a couple of heads together, trying to figure out how to get it to
Ooh.
hold, because it won't hold. Even if you glue it, we've tried 100 things, it won't hold. So
Yeah.
You have when you super glue parts, make sure you have to scrape them off because like it doesn't glue
super glue
properly.
doesn't hold.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like once you super glue it and it's snapped off, you have to scrape off or like it still doesn't
it's a
hold.
very odd position, but I'll tell you about it later.
Yeah,
Or-
the thing
okay.
is the Bloodthirster is kind of flimsy, the base. So
Yeah.
I'm worried how you transport that thing.
How do you have you guys ever used pre-cut foam?
I don't, but I've seen it.
Yeah, I know one person in our community has a pre-cut foam
Pre-cut
case,
foams.
which is great because it's great for spiky models coming from the demon player.
It comes to the exact size. If you think
Yeah,
about
it's the Arthur box. You think you've seen it, Rock? The boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Those perfectly sized for
That's
Mortarion.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
The only downside is, what if a model I bring stops being good?
Well, what are you implying that the codexes can power creep and the units that today are meta can be trash next year? No way!
So that's like
well, orcs with their what's that? Burnabonner?
Burnabama.
Is that what you call them?
and DACA
Yeah,
jets.
it's like they're bad now.
No, the thing is, pre-cut's great because your model will be. It kind of maximizes safety because there's no chance of it budging. It won't snag and break off your spiky bits, which is a huge problem for chaos players.
I agree.
I lost a lot of spikes on my tanks in the past few months.
Same. My PVC and my Typhus. My Lord Contagion, which I converted into.
Yeah.
My Typhus model, which I'm using as a Lord of Contagion.
Mhm.
His scythe, it snapped off.
Yeah,
Oh
that's,
yeah, my Demon Prince that happened the same.
that's a pretty common issue with foam cases, really.
Yeah, that's
and
a problem.
unfortunately, I can't be like la di da. Oh well, like you guys can because my guys are 140 points or $140 a model.
I mean, yeah, if my Marine loses an arm, I'll fix it. But when your Keeper of Sickles is an arm, okay, yeah.
I cry.
Oh yeah, that's kind of scary.
That's why I like magnetic cases.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I've
magnets.
seen it, I've seen it,
I
I've seen
do
it.
not. So I actually I just got a magnetic case. It's on its way.
Uh-huh.
And it's it's a tableware case, so it's like a legitimate magnetic case. It's not a DIY case. And I'm very, very excited because that is going to be the probably the safest way to transport models, I would say.
So question, since we're at it, Nick.
Yeah.
So you're going to LVO.
Yep.
In next year.
Yep.
What is the case you're going to be using? The new one that is coming up, or one of the ones you're using right now?
No, I'm going to be using the one that's going to the one that I'm getting in a couple of weeks, because I'm hoping I have to remeasure the size. It's right at carry-on size, but these magnetic cases are sturdy. They're the plates are strong, so if you get some good neodymium magnets, it will actually fit and it won't move. So these things are strong, they're good, and they have a lot of space. My issue with my case right now, it's a complete space problem.
Wait, so if you're buying new cases, what are you planning to do with your old cases?
Sell them.
Oh,
if you're in the market for a case. But yeah, there's only one disadvantage to this, and also this case has a drawer where I can put all my dice, books, tape measures, all my equipment.
Okay.
And it's tall enough.
That's
it's tall enough that I can put two greater demons on top of each other and still have space for that drawer.
What? Two greater demons. So I don't think I heard the conversation. I never heard the phrase, "Oh yeah, I can put two greater demons on top of each other."
Yeah.
In the same sentence, but I guess the first time this is for everybody.
First time for everything.
Thank you, Nick, for your enlightenment on cases.
The only disadvantage is
what?
On sale pre-order. This thing was $200.
Okay.
Oh,
that is like, this is one of the cheaper ones. Tableware cases, usually they come out in waves, and once they're gone, they're gone.
So it's like Curse City. You announce it's gonna be full run, and then it's gonna come back again?
They even say this is because there's slight changes between each rendition. I think like wave one, I think like the front panel might have been glass. Now it's plastic. It's like an acrylic. Not plastic. Now it's acrylic. Wave 2, which I've seen, has a combination lock on top. Those no longer exist. Those are no longer.
I don't
on
want
the
to interrupt
cases.
you since it's on the topic. Is this the same cases that Justin used?
Yes,
because I know that Justin has done what has a little glass.
He has wave 2. I have wave 3.
Because that's when you mentioned glass. Say, wait a second. I think I've seen this case before. That's Justin's one. That's a beautiful case.
Difference between ours will be mine does not have the combination lock on top because too many people lock their minis in their cases.
What? Like, do people steal like minis or something?
Absolutely.
Like, what's with the lock, dude?
Absolutely.
Wait, seriously?
These things, my Lord of Change on the open market, you could probably sell that thing for easily over 200, if not 300 USD. Because it's a commission job, so you could sell this thing for easily double what it's worth.
Wow, I never thought of that
6
way.
of them. I have 6
models. Models like that are it's economy. The retail value is huge.
If the issue is if the person knows what it is, that's the issue in the value.
The thing is, like, Rock, we're not talking about the guy in the airport who's gonna grab your case and throw it in the thing because they don't care about miniatures. We're talking about a guy in Vegas in the tournament who's looking around the place finding a prey. That's the type of people we're talking about.
Yeah. So, and that's why some people don't even like that case because it has a clear front, so you can see what's in it. But also, competitive players don't like it because then someone can see your list.
I mean, you could just cover it up.
You could. I don't care enough. I'm not that good. But yeah, that's like so. Like DIY magnet cases are great because they're cheap, but they're just they're a poor imitation of what they're a poor imitation of a pure magnet case. Like those things are just so good.
Hey, don't talk bad about my do-it-yourself.
I mean, they're great, and
I put a lot of love.
If you're not transporting if you're not basically, my issue is I'm transporting, models. Each one is worth almost as much as the case, so it's definitely a worthwhile investment for me. And I actually shopped for like 3 or 4 months for this.
You, sir, have insulted my integrity, and I shall challenge you to a duel of Warhammer to defend my honor.
I shopped like 3 or 4 months because I looked between Battle Foam, A-Case, Table War, Citadel. Have you guys ever used a Battle Foam or seen one?
No, I've seen Battle Foam. When I met Arthur back in the day, I've seen the.
Oh no! Oh yeah.
Yeah, you've seen them. Arthur
Yeah,
has them.
Battle Foam makes a Magna Rack. Mm-hmm. They make a fully magnetic case too.
Fully magnetic case.
Their cases are some of the honestly, they are really good. They are a premium. I would call them a premium case.
Okay.
But
how premium are we talking about?
$400 premium.
Oh snap!
So I think they're a tad overpriced for what they are. But it's partially because you get the guarantee of Battle Foam. Battle Foam has always made good stuff.
So basically, you're paying the brand.
You pay a little bit for brand. A case is cheaper, and I think their cases, I personally think, are a little sturdier because the inside, the skeleton is entirely like steel. So like it's got a nice inside skeleton, so the case can be things can sit on it, and the case is strong. It actually has a frame.
Okay.
So it's pretty nice. But that one's, for the size I have, you're looking at the tune of over $300. They're cheaper.
So. Here I am with my camera case for $20.
Yeah. And then of course I have my Table War, which was $200. Normally about $260 or about $260 or $280. So, they don't have the same durability, I don't think, as the others. They're good though. They're strong though.
Well, welcome to the War Report, where we have the trashiest budget to do stuff, but we can afford great cases, guys.
Yeah.
Models.
I mean, to be fair, not all of us. I'm still using the. Well, right now I'm not using the QG case anymore. I have evolved. I have ascended.
But I mean,
okay,
I
gotta
say, more expensive doesn't always mean better. And you just got to get whatever fits your price point. I have to get an expensive one because I have a very specialized army that requires a case of an absurd size. Imagine rolling around with 6 Mortarians.
Oh yeah,
that's like a whole lot of not fun.
Exactly. So it's just like
not fun to be on the other side.
To be fair, my Mortarian is already battered. He have seen some very, very bad things.
So
it's already.
But that's why we, whenever you look at what you need to buy.
Right. Since we're already on the topic, so the question is, what should I buy? I mean, what is the best thing you could buy? So that's what I was mentioning. Like, we kind of clicked on the same topic. When we were have a small army and we started playing, we had a kimchi box. but then we got more serious about it. Our armies grew, we got in more models, and now we kind of have to pick up the pace. So we ended up going to bigger. That's we get into cases. But even though the case I have now is great, I don't think it's the most comfortable solution, because it's a little bit heavy. It's good for overall transportation because keep them safe, but something more convenient could always be a better option. So what are your thoughts on this one? So travel and distance should be a matter when you buy this thing, or just models and keep your models safe. I mean, if you don't mind I don't mind being a little bit heavy when it's local, but when I have to do a long trip, for example, like I do to Incheon, carrying that case, doing all the transfer I do on the subway, it takes a toll on you. It takes a toll on you when you're walking all that stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Yeah.
Rock, you're more of a local player. Sure. You don't usually go long distance. What are your thoughts on what you kind of think? What fits your needs, especially with something like that?
All right. So when it comes to cases, when I buy them, I usually just ask people around in the chat if they're selling any cases. One of the guy called Bill, he sold me his Citadel case. I'm not so sure which one was it. Citadel battle case, battle figure case. Yeah, I think that's what it's called or something like that. Apparently it wasn't big enough for his army or something like that, but it's Death Guard. you don't really run like a lot of guys there, except for Poxwalkers. They're like a pain in a punch. But yeah, I just bought this case, which was like in a cheaper price because it's like second-handed. And then like it's already like they already have the stuff and everything there. So right now I'm using the Scylla case, and as for the Mortarion, I was suggested by Nick and Luke to buy some sort of like camera case or something like that. You can actually cut out the sponges there and then like form into like you can have your own battle form if you think about it.
Yeah, that's what I did.
I'm pretty sure you have the same one I do.
Yeah. The one with like the locks and like some sort of like combination or something like that.
Honestly, I like yours better than mine. Mine it's different, but I like yours.
Yeah. So another thing what I could add is that like when you're just going to the local, like if you go to that like friend's house for like most of the time or something like that, you could just like honestly just leave the stuff there if he's cool with it. Like I think that's what I do with Benny. Like he's cool with.
How do you trust your babies to for strangers?
I mean, I can trust Benny enough. Like he's a good guy. Like he even runs his company.
I agree.
So I just leave it there. And one thing for sure, I don't bring codex around. So that's another thing. I have my cheat sheet.
Oh yeah, because you still don't have a codex. It's almost October 2021. The codex came out in February, and you still haven't get the codex.
Hey, I have my cheat sheet. Okay, it has everything there. Like.
Yeah, and you kept casting Patristic Mentality and Mortarion.
Hey, I mean, like that's I think that's like the first 2 times when I was running in Mortarion. So hey, cut me some.
That's 2 times too many.
I think that's
2 times too many.
Okay.
Real quick, Mortarion's toughness 9, right?
No, toughness 8.
Stop bullying me. That's all.
But once we switch from that, then it becomes long distance.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, like weight as like going a couple hours. Luke, do you ever find that like weight is a huge issue?
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning the case of yesterday. Because for example, yesterday I went to Incheon. So the way to go to Incheon here, it takes me around 2 hours, but I need to walk to the station. That's 15-minute walk. Get into the subway, and then the subway, it's a few changes. And then when I drop in there in Incheon, I had to walk for another 20 minutes to get to the soup place. So between moving back and forth with the case, it gets heavy, it gets annoying. But then on my way back, I said, okay, on my way back, let's do everything in one trip. So I was carrying, like I mentioned, I had my backpack with my codex and stuff. I had my case, I have another case. And then I was carrying a the box. Sorry, I have something in my throat. I was carrying a big box of the undisclosed content. I was carrying that. I was carrying a pizza box, and I was carrying so many things. It was so heavy. By the time I made it home, I just almost collapsed on the floor of the amount of stuff I was carrying over. And yeah, it gets heavy.
I find my thing is, because I transport things from Pyeongtaek to Seoul a lot because I go to both places. As much as it's not as much weight, it's what your case looks like. Because I have a backpack. My case is a backpack. So it makes it very, very easy to just transport things.
Oh.
Because you just throw it on your back and then your hands are free.
Have you seen?
Oh my god. It's almost like your backpack is like Death Stranding, if I just remembered.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, you remember the old anime, Knights of the Zodiac, Saint Seiya?
Oh my lord!
Yeah, that's it. That's your armor. You're carrying your knight armor in the back.
I know. I'm Tanjiro from
from Demon Slayer.
I'm Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. I have a square backpack with the most valuable thing in the world to me in the back.
So yeah, it's not Nezuko, but it's like 3 demon heads that are kind of like as cruel.
It's like stacked up, right? If I was taking your backpack.
Oh, me and Tanjiro were basically the same person. We both carried backpacks with demons in the back. It's that Coupon Eats IKEA shelf, the one I just told you about. That's the one I carry around for like my normal distance travel.
That sounds good.
It's a very safe case. It's magnetic, and you know me, I will never go back to foam now that I'm on the magnet train.
Yeah, but that is something that scares me, that how sturdy some of these cases are. I remember remember when we did that tournament, Rock?
Yeah.
We went back to home with... He was sitting in his case, remember? We were waiting for the taxi, and he just put the case on the floor, and he sat on top of
Yeah.
the thing. And Benny's a big guy. Okay, he's built. He's so muscly. So you have this case, and like he probably had like around 80 to 90 kilos of muscle sitting on top, and like, dude, are you not scared that you're gonna just crush the whole thing?
Yeah, that's an A case. That's what he was sitting on, was an A case.
Oh, that's a okay.
The one I was telling you about, yeah. And he's probably, I was say, I can't imagine he's much lighter than me, and I'm just over 100.
Oh, same here, bro.
Yeah. And but my big thing is now is the big one.
The big one.
International travel.
Yeah, that is
Or
something
for the
that scares me.
For the US, just interstate, because that's basically, for most countries, that is international travel. For most parts of the world, going from state to state in America is like going to country to country level travel.
All those things.
No, I'm just terrified of thinking of that.
That's why, like, that case that I was talking about, the Table War, is so nice, because all your gaming stuff fits in one thing, and you pick it up and roll. And the case is extremely light. Like, for what it is, the case is very, very light. So, it maximizes space, efficiency, and weight. But that's where the price point comes in.
No, I can imagine. I mean, one of the things that terrifies me the most is the day I need to leave the country.
Oh.
And I have to go back to whatever country I'm going back, or whatever I'm moving into the next time. I have so many miles.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
How I'm gonna carry that stuff over? Oh my god, and I still have more stuff coming, so I'm just terrified, because I moved recently, and moving all the minis was a hassle, but I could get away with it because I put things in a box, move it, and then, but oh my god, if I have to put it on a suitcase or luggage, unless I cover everything with with unhealthy amounts of bubble foam, and then it gets sued by every environment organization for the amount of plastic I'm using. Everything's gonna come back in pieces. Everything's gonna arrive to destination in crumbles.
Can you just imagine like how you're carrying to the plane? Like, are you gonna carry inside the plane, or are you gonna put it in the luggage area? Like in your case,
no, I mean, but that's the thing. I'm gonna put my most beloved ones with me. And then the next is probably gonna have one of the suitcases. It's gonna be just packed to the brim with miniatures, and everything's gonna be like triple coated with ungodly amounts.
Honestly,
of bubble.
The best option is to ship them. I've gotten models sent from America.
And
as long as you pack them well, just put them in a box and ship them.
Nick, that's the thing. Nick, you live in America, the United States.
Yes.
I don't live there. If I live in a country where I do that, and that's not gonna work. I don't think that thing will ever reach my home. That's what I'm trying to say. So I cannot do that.
Let's So, but yeah, so, whenever it comes to traveling for like international tournaments, because I know here, whenever the world decides to stop ending, we're looking at doing some international tournaments, because we've been in contact with a couple of with expat groups,
like
from
other countries, right?
Different countries around us.
We're supposed to go to meet the expat group in Japan.
Yeah, we're going to go play in Japan, and that's where international travel comes in. That's where the Table War cases
come in. Is it still possible?
Like,
it's kind of like there's Corona around? Like,
no, but
this is set up as like an agreement of, we'll make a date once all the countries are open and everything stops ending.
That makes sense.
Yeah, when the dark days are over.
That's where like the international cases are coming in, and that's where you're going to get people who are. We're going to be borrowing cases. We're going to be buying new ones, because you need something that you can trust, overseas. Like, Luke, if you go with us, I will probably give you my Coupang Eats case is not a bad case if you're not transporting demons. It's a little small for that, but for your army, it would work beautifully.
Probably, yeah. I don't mind.
So it's like
stick to my stuff, but yeah.
I think you can just cover your models
magnets
and things also. Like,
but they have to be a carry-on. Never trust, unless you have a hard shell suitcase. Never trust your models in luggage.
Yep.
Is what I would say. Unless, because like I have a hard shell, and so I'm thinking about maybe packing it in there.
Because I have a hard shell too. That's my other one.
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe packing my stuff in one of those. But seriously, yeah. But what's your what case you get really just comes down to, how big are your models? How many do you have? And how are you traveling? Are you traveling locally, long distance, or internationally, really?
Pretty much.
Demons hit. I actually check all three of those categories because I have my list that runs 6 greater demons still runs 60 troop units.
Oh, yeah, because your demons are cheap. The little boys.
Yep, the little guys are cheap. So I have that list has 50 demonettes and 5 and has it's 50 demonettes and 10 brimstone horrors. But like I run some lists with as many as 80 something units in it. So I have massive models and I need space because I have a lot of them. And I travel internationally, so that warrants me having these higher end cases because I create a need for them,
The needs.
You get the need for space.
Yeah. Like I will always recommend them, but like Rock, you don't need this.
Yeah, you don't need that.
Completely honest.
No.
You play locally. You're pretty casual at the moment.
Casual.
You play locally. And so you're not going to need these. You're not have to go full insanity mode like I do.
Oh well,
I
I have to take that into consideration, but at the same time, like I don't know if I might travel back to Philippines or not. Like we'll have to see how things goes. But hopefully, as just a local casual player, I guess right now I'm just contented with my Citadel box and with my camera box.
Yeah, that
honestly.
works. Well, I think we covered pretty much the whole thing for
Yeah.
the cases. So that's the overall thought.
Yeah.
So put attention on the size of the thing you want, the amount of the army you have, and the distance you're gonna be moving those things.
Yep.
And
Everything comes down to how much danger are your models going to be in when you start moving. How much danger are you going to be in?
Or how cool are you with damaged models? If you're cool with it, we can go along. Because at least with Death Guard, we can get away with it. If it's damaged, it's
Death Guard. It's Death Guard.
It's part of the vibe, It's part of the vibe. It fits a theme. Nobody gets harmed. But
That
we have a
horn
beautiful
shipped
painted.
off. Well, it's Death Guard.
His arm fell off. Yeah, well, it fits.
Sea orcs.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Look, it was like Bill the other day. His orc fell on the ground, and he's like, "Oh well, if it breaks, it's just more orky."
Yeah. It's probably more grim
I
than the
accidentally
orcs.
meant to hand him his model the other day, and it slipped, and I accidentally threw it. And he's like, "Oh, come on!" And I looked at him like, "Really? It's a boy." But I felt bad. But no, it all comes down to, as I said, what do you need it for? How much? Like, it all comes down to the factors of how far are you traveling? How many models do you have?
Mm-hmm.
And how big are your models? Because each box you check off, your case should be, more and more expensive. Now there's probably plenty of you out there that are just like, no, my case is fine. I manage, which is great. If you find, it all comes down to find what you like.
Yeah, no.
I don't care a ton for battle films.
Don't forget how expensive your models are.
People always say I manage until they start getting more than one army. Everybody gets there. I was like, I don't need a big case. I only need my kimchi box. And I'm like, and now I'm doing mental mathematics, gene mathematics on my brain of how much space I need to squeeze all this stuff inside a single case. Yeah.
Right. And I was the same way. I had my camera case, and then I started building demons, and I'm like, foam. I thought I could get some foam cases to just fit my keepers in. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Then it was not just keepers. It was a Lord of Change. It was two Bloodthirsters. It was a Lord of War. It was the Great Unclean One. It was Bellicor. Yeah. So it's like my collection grew.
That is something that I find it funny how Sue's gonna manage, because one of the reasons why Sue always hosts is because he can get away playing his giant monsters. He hosts because of his plays, but he has to play it somewhere else, and he has to carry this thing that covers half the table. I want to see it.
I don't think the Herodon will be making an appearance. He has, and that thing's not good. that thing's not good in an all comers list because something like AdMech will just blow it out of the sky.
Yeah, of course. Against me, I have that.
Yeah.
I
Against
saw
AdMech,
when he brought his knights, like this big freaking bag, and all his knights just fit in one bag. It's like,
He has the same case. He has a similar case to what I have.
okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
He actually his is a case in a his is an IKEA shelf in one of a case he got from back home. Mine is also and then he I think is also getting one like mine. Yeah, because his knights, his nids, he can transport his nids if it's just Dimas. He can transport them just fine.
Yeah, demons are fine.
As long as he doesn't bring like a Herodon or something.
And then he
you
brings
know?
the Bio Titan. Good luck with that.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't bring one of his lords, his titans, he's fine. Yeah, it's
Okay, so.
But yeah, it all comes down to need and what army you run. The prettier the model, the more expensive the case.
Okay, then. I think this is it for this week. I think we should close it up here, boys.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
So, thanks for joining, Heretics, Xenos, and Filthy Loyalists. Thanks for joining us today at the War Report. This has been Luke, Mr. Nick, and Rock.
Yeah.
well, the Emperor be with you all.
And Nurgle bless.